Be warned, it's Luana, and this podcast contains honest, upfront opinions. It's rants, bants, general explicit content, but we know that you love it.
Hello. Welcome to Thursday. It is Luana. Totally extra. So I'm in a really silly mood today. I'm Silly Billy Louisa Zisman. She's Anna Williamson. And every Thursday we're bringing you extra rants, extra chat, extra confessions, extra stories, extra yo.
Yeah, baby. And you look like Pippi Longstocking today with your little pigtails.
I know. I had to plait my hair because I washed it and I was like, oh, I can't be bothered with all this stress.
No, looks good.
Quite
looks
hard
good.
work. And now I haven't got hairdressers to do my hair.
Oh, the old Stennies.
I've moved on. Pasture's new. So yeah, I've had to plan it.
DIY job, babes. You're back in the trenches with us, you know, with the old hair, you know, having to do it yourself.
I know. But fear not, I did buy a Dyson Airwrap, which is actually amazing.
Yeah, I know, you were telling me about this.
Oh my
By the way,
God.
this is not
when
an
I
ad,
get home.
But everyone says
when
it's
I get
amazing.
home, I'm going to do it on you. It's amazing.
Can we do like Barbies?
Let's do I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie
And
world.
hi, Imo, as well.
Laughing
Imo, you're
plastic.
looking wonderful.
Hello.
Okay, well, we're here. Lufanians are here. Let's muff hunt in with a message from Anonymous. So, Lillian.
We're wetting our clams with Lily.
We're in a really silly mood today, guys. Sorry about this. I've got really bad PMT, but you know when it just comes out as like, it could go one way or the other. I could just be like
God.
really sexual or just really moody and a bit of both.
Be
I think I just need to have
when
like
you've got
good
PMT,
sex
isn't
or
it like
something.
sexual because you need to have a shag?
Yeah.
You know, because it's like
think
your
I need
ovaries are twitching.
I think I might have to bust out the old Tracy's dog if Alex isn't going to oblige. Anyway,
I can't even remember what that's like.
I
Tracy's dog.
might get it out actually. Anyway, hi Anna, Louisa and Imo. Love the pod, but that's a given. Well, thanks, babes. After the message the other week about the woman whose granny was cremated on the open fire, I mean, everyone loves death.
That's one of my
on our pod.
favourites.
And the other woman whose uncle's ashes scattering didn't go to plan, I had to message in, she says. I currently work in a UK airport, and for a few years I worked in security. I bet that's fascinating. What I'm about to tell you
I'd love that
happened
job.
not long after I started. Picture
Okay.
this. It's the middle of summer. The airport is heaving, and there's a queue all the way down to the entry doors when a family proceeded to come through with a gentleman in a wheelchair. They said he wasn't able to stand to walk through the metal detector, which is fine. So in that scenario, we can give somebody a body search sitting in their wheelchair when they come through the side gate. Only when he came through, there was something a bit off with the gentleman.
Oh, no.
And he was, oh
no.
my
Oh no.
God.
Oh no.
Fanny, brace yourself for this. She says, and he wasn't very responsive.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Alarmed by this, he was taken into a private room with his son. And I'm not laughing, but I am at this absolute
I am laughing.
utter
I am
awfulness.
absolutely laughing.
And a supervisor who was now looking rather concerned. Within 2 minutes of being in the room, they discovered that the man was, in fact, dead. He had died earlier that morning. And they were trying to fly. And they were trying to fly him back home so he could be buried before sundown. Of course, they would never have been able to get him sorted with a coffin and loaded into cargo within such a tight time frame. So they had to come up with a grand plan. So they'd come up with this grand plan to sit him in a wheelchair and put him in a jumper and big baseball cap in the hope that everyone would be none the wiser and would just think that he was sleeping.
God. This is so bad.
Can I just say, this is up here now as my favourite story ever, and we haven't even got to the end of it. How they planned to get him on and off the plane when rigor mortis has started to set in, I'll never know. Oh my God, bless them all. Suffice to say, he did not make his flight. Oh no, that's actually quite sad because I do get the whole like sundown thing. Like that is a real thing.
It's religious, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And his son and other accompanying family members were arrested. Oh no! Thankfully, it was all kept rather hush-hush, and I don't think any other passengers knew what was going on. If I've learned one thing whilst working in the airport, is that you can never tell what people will do next.
Oh my God.
My God.
That is such a good story.
Just so many emotions about this whole story. Delirium, hysteria, sadness, disbelief. I mean, this is an emotional on all levels story. I mean, at what point do you feel that just basically casually wheeling a dead body through airport security is going to in any way work? I mean, what happens when you get in on the plane and then, they put the flight signs on, the seatbelt signs on, and can you do it yourself, sir? What? No. He's sitting there with his head lolling to one side with rigor mortis settling in.
And
it's never going to work.
Bodily fluids start to come out. Like, how long does that take?
And also, and I don't mean to be really graphic here, okay, but this will be a bit graphic, and I'm sorry if this is upsetting for anybody, but when I went to see Dead Nana in hospital, okay, bearing in mind, Dead Nana...
Guess who's back?
Guess who's back?
Here comes Dead Nana. Sorry,
when I went to see Dead
Nana died, but she's just given us so much.
She's given us a year's worth of content. I mean, may you rest in peace, Nana. I think it's Nana's haunting my house. But when I went to see Dead Nana, bearing in mind she'd died 50 minutes prior to when I got there, and when I was there, and this might sound a bit gross, guys, I've never seen a dead body in my life.
No,
but that sort of like death thing, whatever you call it, rigor mortis, sets in pretty quick. Because I actually had to leave after 20 minutes because it started to freak me out a bit because I could see her body, like her facial muscles just starting to slightly sink in. Like truly, like really. So if that was within an hour of passing away and I was starting to see her sort of slightly relax, shall we say, well, bloody hell, where are they flying to? I mean, if that was a long haul flight, I mean... Flipping heck. So many questions. What a great story.
That is brilliant. Please give us more. We love stories like this. Airport security stories. Great. If you do work in airport security, you must have seen some really good shit. Okay?
Yeah.
That, police stories. We love that. What other stories do we like? Funeral stories. Love them. Ambulance stories. Police stories.
I would like to hear from a paramedic who has been called to a house where there has been the most amusing incident, like, trapping a toddler in a vacuum cleaner, that kind of thing. I'd quite like to hear those stories.
Oh, brilliant. Well, thank you for that, Lillian. We really appreciate that. We have a voice note from Alex up next.
So, I'm not a songwriter. I'm not a singer. But I made a song about Luana. And I'd quite like it if you played it. Thank you. It goes a bit like this. Luana, Luana, I love you, Luana. You're only a week away. Louisa and Anna, I love ya, I love ya. Can't wait till it's Monday. Louisa.
Still going.
Louisa, you're so angry about everything. And Anna is such a mental pot, but I love you a lot. Together, you are Luana. Today.
Well... Bring back the X Factor. All is forgiven, Alex. Thank you. Imo is dying at this. I'm a mental pot and you're just angry. I think very well described.
Oh, that is so well described. Why am I so angry?
Why am I a mental pot?
I don't think I'm that angry. I just think I fly off the handle quite quickly. And then I had a typical Gemini personality, actually.
And with that big Mediterranean flavour that's running through you. I mean, I just...
That Italian and Greek, it just comes through and I've gone into Borat. Right. Oh, we've got a message from Anonymous. We've called you Mary. Mary says, Hi, ladies. Firstly, gotta say, absolutely love the podcast. You have kept me sane through lockdowns, part 1, 2, and 3. I was in hysterics at the hairy vulva story, which got me thinking of the odd names we call our private parts and thought I'd share a story from my old job. I used to work in the nursery, the childcare kind, not the flowers. So you better keep me anonymous. Please call me Mary. You will see why. So early one morning, I welcomed my preschool class in when at register time, one of the little girls tells me that her Auntie Mary is poorly. Oh, I offered my sympathy and assured her she would be better soon. This was obviously bothering the child as she kept mentioning it throughout the morning. So I suggested that she made her Auntie Mary a get well soon card. So off we head to the craft table to do so. It was only later in the day when she asked me to put cream on her Auntie Mary that I realised she was trying to tell me she had a poorly nun. So yes, I had a 4-year-old write a get well soon card to her own vagina. I was mortified and even worse had to explain my mistake to her mum at collection. Thankfully, she saw the funny side, but it's safe to say I've never really lived it down. Thanks for all the laughs, ladies. Keep them coming. And Anna, I'm loving the new Breaking Mum and Dad. Lots of love, Auntie
thanks,
Mary.
That's brilliant.
That's so good.
So brilliant.
Oh,
Love it, Mary.
Auntie
Listen,
Mary.
my kids actually do have an Auntie Mary. Alex's sister's called Mary. I might let her in on this one. Old Auntie
How's your
Mary.
Auntie Mary?
How's your Auntie
Skinny and a
Mary?
bit sore. Right. I've got a voice note rant from Emily next.
Hi Luana, I've got a voice note rant for you. So why is it that older parents are just so bad with technology? I've been living with my parents for a little while
preach.
now, and every single time that my dad has a Zoom call, which is like every couple of weeks, something just goes wrong, and I just don't understand it. So I work from home and I'm on Zoom all the time, and tonight my dad had a Zoom call, and he's like messaging me being like, help, there's no internet, it's not working. So it's pissing down with rain. I run out to the office, go and help him, and I'm like, Dad, the internet was fine out here all day, like what are you talking about? And I'm like, have you turned it off? What have you done? He's like, no. So look at his laptop, not working. Go over to the cable, to the plug where the internet's plugged in, and he'd only gone and unplugged it. I'm like, Dad, of course it doesn't work. Like, you've been doing this for a year. What do you think is going to happen? It's just mind-boggling. I just don't understand how he hasn't got the hang of it yet. I mean, bless him, but come on. You need to get to grips with this shit.
Yeah, I'm sending my parents on a course. Yeah, same.
It's so annoying.
Every week, my mum has a 3:00 on a Friday, a Zoom. It's lovely because it's like a Zoom chat with all her with her girlfriends, and it's actually really sweet because had they not invented Zoom, they would be stuck still with their once a year meeting up in real life. And now because they all live in different parts of the country, but every single bloody Friday, and they've been doing it for the past year, she'll ring me on Thursday and go, "Can you just check my Zoom for me because it keeps going wrong when I do it?" I'm like, "Mum, sort your shit out." So I'm with you.
It's
I'd imagine your parents are quite good at tech.
No, my mum is useless. We were talking like the passenger locator forms, and you have to book all these COVID tests and all this shit. And
God, yeah, that's
she
hard.
was like, "Good job, you're here, 'cause I wouldn't know what to do. I can't do all this logging on business." And I was like, "Oh fucking hell!" She's like, "They just wouldn't let me back in." I was like, "Wouldn't
Do
be
you know
a
what
bad
it is?
thing, no. Wouldn't be a
It's
bad
when our parents, it's when they sort of put inflections on words such as logging on. My mum does that. We just go, log on. My mum's like, so how did, my mum always gets the inflections wrong. She's like, how do I log on or log on? And she'll do it wrong. It's like she's never heard of that word before, the internet. I'm like, yes, Mum, Wi-Fi. Bless her heart. She's happy living in the dark ages in her own admission.
so funny.
Right, so Eleanor, message from Eleanor. So, hi, Luana, Imo, and all the animals. I've had to stop and write this at a bus stop because I need to share it with someone. And I thought you may appreciate what just happened to me. I am so embarrassed. All right, here we go. I've recently completed a course in first aid training, and ever since, I feel like I've been looking everywhere for some sort of opportunity to be a hero. Maybe a kid falling off their bike, maybe someone fainting. As I was on my daily walk today, I cut through a little cul-de-sac and noticed an older woman had pulled her car over and was frantically tending to something in the back seat. She looked a bit distressed, and I could vaguely see someone through the tint of the boot of her car. I realised they were having a seizure, something I had learned to deal with in my first aid course. I ran over and put on my best Holby City voice like Joey from Friends when he's Dr. Drake Ramore. Right, don't panic. It's okay. I can help you if you need it. I do have training. I called over to her. She replied, oh, if you wouldn't mind. So I power walked over with a sense of urgency, put on my mask, feeling ready to be heroic. Maybe I'll get a Pride of Britain award. Except when I got to her car, I realised what I had seen wasn't someone having a seizure in the back seat. What I had seen was the woman rattling the front seat back and forth as it was a 2-door car, and the seat wasn't moving forward and had been rattling while she was driving. I flinched for a moment, but decided the embarrassment of admitting I thought she was tending to someone having a fit wasn't worth it, and had to pretend I was some sort of mechanic. No. I sort of went, yeah, but not really sure what's going on there for a bit, apologised and went on my way. I think she was a bit confused as to why I was so serious about her car trouble. I'm still expecting that Pride of Britain award any day now. Like everyone says, thank you for your amazing pod. Thank you. And I hope you guys enjoy this story as much as I hated it happening to me. Love, Eleanor. You see, everyone loves a front row keynote, especially when it backfires.
I remember when I did my first aid training, and then you feel really ready, and then after about a year you actually forget everything. Gone. So you're like, oh God, no, I don't know how to help you there, sorry.
Do you know something? That is so true. I've done 2 paediatric first aid courses because we all know how flipping hypochondria I am and ringing 111 with the kids. And then Elle this week went and choked on an oat bar. Did I know she's fine? No, she was fine.
Did you call 111?
I didn't. No time. Super Anna. But she was with Alex, and she was crying and tantruming, and he gave her an oat bar. I was like, don't give her something to eat when she's crying. But then it basically ended up with me. It all went out the window. The kind of 2:30. It just ended up with me giving her a massive wallop on the back and turning her upside down. It came out. It was fine. She vommed over the carpet.
Oh, bless her.
I know. Never mind, eh? Never mind.
Right, we've got a voice note from Laura up next.
Hi ladies, this is just a quick voice note, just listening to your Monday podcast where Louisa is talking about her new nose that she wants now. I'm very concerned about it, Louisa. I don't think you should get it done because you've just had your chin done. And didn't you say that you had to measure from your nose to your chin or something, and that was like the perfect angle? So if you get your nose done, you're going to need to get your chin done again.
She makes
and
a
then
good
before
point.
you know it, you're going to look like a cat. Just don't do it. You're beautiful as you are. Bye.
Oh, she sent a voice note just about that.
Yeah, you see, a concerned Lufanian about your facial surgery.
I know, but do you know what? I have been thinking about my nose, and it is warranted because I have got a deviated septum one side.
Have you?
And when I went to, do you remember on the pod when I kept losing my voice? Yes. Do you remember when I kept losing my voice and I was like, I think I've got throat cancer? And then I went to
Imo's laughing.
An ENT specialist.
Yeah.
I went to an ENT specialist, and then I literally got to the appointment and he was like, all right, we're just going to have a look. So I was like, okay, open mouth. He was like, no, we're going to put a camera up your nose to look down your throat. And so he tried to do it in my left nostril, and he was like, oh, you've got a deviated septum. You've got a bone across your nostril. He was like, do you have breathing problems? I was like, well, I don't think so. I was like, I can breathe, obviously. I'm alive. And then he was like, oh, it's like completely blocked. And said to put the camera up the other nostril. Yeah. So, and then whenever I've had corona tests, you can't go up that nostril. Just like stops. Yeah.
So what you're saying is a nose
valid
job could be for medical reasons.
Yeah, because it's like they'd fix that, obviously. And then afterwards, when he was like, do you have problems breathing? I was like, well, no. But then if I cover my mouth and then I cover my nose.
Is that your dicky nostril?
That's it.
That does sound...
I can't breathe. I literally can't breathe. Look.
Do it again. Go on. Exactly. She's covering her nostril and her mouth, so the dicky nostrils exposed.
And I can't breathe. So maybe I should get a nose job on medical grounds. Do you think I could plug it on the NHS?
I mean, you can... No comment. Could you imagine that? Oh, hi.
Hi. I think I've got a deviated septum. Could I just have a minor nose job? Just if we could reshape. Can you give me a CAD drawing of what my profile would be like? Oh dear.
I mean, the NHS haven't been under any strain at all, so why not? Go in there and get a quote.
Oh, Captain Tom raised so much money. I'm sure they could give me a nose job.
There you go. Give it a whirl.
Clearly, I'm joking. By the way, I mean I hope that most
the trolls are on this.
Well, I'm hoping that most of our listeners know my personality by now. But if you don't, and if you happen to be listening to this for the first time, that is sarcasm. It's this really shitty form of personality I have, the lowest form of wit, but actually it's basically my personality, very dry and very sarcastic. So if you're a first-time listener, that's what that was.
That's how it rolls. And this is kind of what we're like. Yeah. We don't mean a lot of what we say. We just like to take the piss an awful lot about ourselves. Yeah.
Right. I have never told anyone this, but dun, 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 dun. First up, hey, Luana. My confession is that I'm a primary school teacher and I had a short fling with the married head of the school whilst I was at a couple of years ago. It was my first job. He was a silver fox. It felt so naughty, but so good doing the dirty in his little office.
Is it wrong that I feel a bit turned on about that one?
Is your nun twitching? Is it pulsating?
I mean, I have got really bad PMT. So, no, I just think that's quite a sort of sexy little... I can see why that would have, been a little frisson,
Kinky.
Not that
I had an affair with a married guy once. Something I regret. I've spoken about it on this pod before. But we did used to have sex in the office and it did feel really naughty. He did tell me at that time that he had left his wife though. But then I found out his wife was pregnant. Clearly hadn't left her. Anyway, let's move on.
Listen to an early episode of Luana and you'll hear all about that fallout, by the way.
Hear the lowdown.
So the confession number 2, the lowdown. Hey, Luana and Imo. I've never told anyone this, but the first thing I used to masturbate when I was a teenager was my mum's electric toothbrush.
Oh my God.
Thankfully, I moved on to non-household objects shortly after that. But that was the thing that gave me my first orgasm. Did feel weird seeing my mum brushing her teeth afterwards, though. Ew!
Oh, that's brilliant. See, we've all done it with these funny little things when we're experimenting. It's just life, isn't it? Right, exactly. That's it for Luana Totally Extra this week. Remember, we'll be back with your usual dose of Luana on Monday and recapping on everything we've been up to in the last week, of course. And we do always need you. Our email's luanathepodcast@gmail.com and our number's 07745 266 947.
Ladies, peeps, have a super weekend and we will see you Monday.
Bye.